What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. And you know what? Stop the show. I have been getting a lot of comments from a lot of you ladies, and many of you feel that my content remains biased, that I'm not really giving a fair shake to ladies. And you know what? I can understand that. I can understand your point of view because it is one-sided over here. And it's not going to change, but it is definitely that, right? And you feel that men also can hit this thing called the wall. And I find it to be quite interesting. Actually, I do. And very amusing. Because I want to prove that men can never hit the wall as long as he's somewhat in shape. Now, you want to know how I know this? Let's talk about Byron Scott. Now, many of you guys who were not raised in the 80s would not know about Byron Scott as a basketball player, but I remember him as the astute young shooting guard. He was starting ahead of Michael Cooper and alongside of Magic Johnson, making probably one of the better backcourts in the 80s at that time. I mean, you had, like Dennis, you had like Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas, in Detroit. But Byron Scott was a great player, awesome shooter. He could defend, he could dunk on your ass too. At some points in time, he was the second leading scorer on the team. All right, and a part of that very exciting fast break Lakers offense that featured James Worthy and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and a lot of good players. Michael Thompson was on there. But what we know Byron Scott for after his career was being a coach. Okay, most notably, he had some really good years with the Nets, as a coach there, and also with the Hornets. Okay, but he was married to Anita Scott for many years. Now, Byron Scott also is an LA guy. He grew up in California, very similar to me, and he was with his long-standing wife, who was black, Anita Scott. That ended in a tumultuous divorce. So much so that Byron Scott's wife, Anita, wanted $60,000 a month. Now, here's the situation with that. This happened after she found out that Byron Scott moved on. Okay? Now, Byron Scott moved on to, you guessed it, someone younger, someone a lot more attractive. Now, she's not so much younger. She's 12 years younger, but and she's nice looking. CeCe Gutierrez. Now, I'm not, I'm more for the sisters than anything else. But, she don't look 47. She looks really good. And she is also no talent, and she's also on these TV shows and things like that. But he was tricking his money off on her. And I believe Byron Scott now is a commentator, things like that. The wife was pissed. The wife was hot that Byron Scott was able to go out and get her. Now, and let me be honest, Byron Scott's almost 60, but he could have did better than this. All right? Now, and she is a registered nurse, and he's a simp, because how dare he get married again after it didn't work out the first time, and he's already paying a lot of money in alimony. Some guys never learn. But the point is not about Byron Scott simping. The point is this. Why can't Anita Scott do the same thing? I want to know. Why isn't Anita Scott marrying somebody 15 years younger than her? 12 years younger than her? I can tell you why she can't do that. Anita Scott has hit the wall. Now, some of you think that men hit the wall. Byron Scott is 60, hasn't hit the wall yet. Like, let's look at Anita Scott right here, okay? Nothing wrong with Anita Scott. Like I said, she's a sister, okay? You see this picture of them and her together. Now, that's him when he's much younger. Look at him and the new wife. Now, it seems like she's had some surgery stuff done, but look at him and her. Anita Scott, it's the other lady looks better. All right, we're just gonna keep it real. Byron Scott's an old fart, but the other lady is hotter. All right. And Anita Scott just can't do what Byron does. End of story. And this is what I'm telling guys. You cannot hit the wall unless you just get, hella broke, hella fat, hella dusty. If you're Byron Scott, you're working out, you're in shape, guess what? You're in the game. 60, 70, 100, 110 years old, casket, you're there. And what chicks want to be able to say is you can hit the wall too. No, you can't. Where? And this is what people don't want to talk about. All right? This is the advantage that men have. You know what? Let me say this. I'm 39 years old. Not so good looking, but everybody knows that. When I was a young man, I couldn't get anything. I was so freaking dusty. Oh my God. I had them lugs boots on, nigga. I had some Dockers on. I was struggling. I was catching the bus. People was driving by me, honking the horn, put me on Facebook. I was dusty, man. It was hard. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna just keep working hard. I'm gonna come get these people later. I'm not worried about it right now. I'm gonna keep on studying, keep going to school. I'm not gonna be dusty forever. I will not dust it up for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna dust it up. I'm not gonna keep sandling it up. Now in my 30s, even though I'm older, not as buff as I used to be, guess what? I get better looking chicks now than I did then. Why? Because I can't hit the wall. And I'm ugly! I'm ugly! You can't hit the wall, man. It's impossible. Keep your stuff together. You can always get hot chicks. But it's not the other way around, unfortunately. Now, here's what women don't understand. I tell women this all the time. Well, and I'm not going to tell them anything because you can't tell them much. But women think that, oh, if I'm a woman, I'm 50, I have a 40, I have all my stuff together, I have a car, I have savings, then I'll be able to do what guys can do. But it doesn't work that way. All right? A woman who is like Anita Scott's age probably is not gonna want to deal with a broke dude unless she's tricking off on him. All right? And a younger guy, for the most part, is not gonna want her unless she's tricking off on him. Now, a guy at any age, you're gonna be tricking. But that's a part of being a man. Not tricking, but providing. Women cannot keep men, a man's duty is to provide. A woman's a part is to nurture. It's hard to nurture when you're Anita Scott. For a guy that she feels is hot. And Anita Scott probably don't want nobody, 70, 78, 80. She can't go back and get a guy that's 30, 35. It can't happen. It's not going to happen. Because that wall is there. And here's the elephant in the room. I know you don't want to talk about this. He left the race. This is something that a lot of older black men are doing. A lot of black men are like, you know what? The first time I was African American it up. Now I want to get some flavor. This like I said, this is something that you're seeing a lot. A lot of guys are going younger and of another culture. Don't get mad at me. All right? A lot of guys are, if they're going younger, they're going with a different race. Shout out to Uncle Larry. I'm not gonna put his picture up here, but he just got married to a Braziza, I think like almost 60, out in Jacksonville. Just got married to a lovely black Brazilian lady that's like 35. Got plenty of money, doing very well. I mean, like, this is what I'm saying. You can't hit the wall, guys. It's not possible. So, guys, take care of yourself and each other. It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and guys, I really thank you so much for all that you're doing. Really appreciate it. Subscribe, hit the bell. Check out the first comment at the top. Check out the Black Men Are Perfect t-shirts. And don't forget to join us on Patreon. And guys, as you know, the buffoonery remains at all-time high.